Hi, welcome to the TalkativeChic podcast. Today's guest is Eric Pennell. Since we're both stand-up comedians, we talked about comedy, and then we finished off the episode talking about 90 Day Fiance. I did want to explain that we started this podcast a while back ago, and we were banking episodes. So the 90 Day Fiance part is from probably about March or so. So it's really not the finale of season 8, but kind of towards the middle of season 8, just in case you're catching that part, you're not confused that it's not the finale. Thanks so much for listening. Please subscribe to the podcast, hit the bell for notifications, hit the like button, comment if you wish. I'm so glad that you joined us today. Have a good one. Your last name?
Pennell.
Pennell, okay.
Yeah.
I think that was like...
It's okay. It's been hacked up forever, man. In high school, I grew up, this is inappropriate, but I grew up with like all black dudes.
Oh, okay.
And in high school, they called me Pennell. So, and then after a while, I just stopped. So yeah, all through high school for like 5-6 years, I was in high school for 6 years, but I'm saying probably from like 8th grade to maybe when I was 19, I like answered to Pennell to certain people. And it wasn't even my name. And I don't think they were trying to be mean about it. I just think it was just that they thought my last name was Pennell. I don't know if that's like a black last name. I just assumed it was a black last name because I would run into it was. Yeah. And that's the reason why I bring that up. Okay. But yeah, Eric Pennell, and then whatever. There's times like where I'll do comedy and like somebody would like the host to go, "How do you say your last name?" I go, "They don't care. Just say I don't care. They don't know me. Yeah. I don't know them. I'm not emotional on how you bring me up. Yeah. If you say my last name wrong, they don't care."
Oh yeah. I love that about comedians, like hosting. I'm like producing shows and stuff, and I used to actually write out a whole like thing about what I was going to say about each comedian, you know, and I'm like, tell me what to say, and then I'm like, you know what, these people are not going to remember that
you're paying attention to the wrong thing. Although, no, I mean, obviously, if you want to be a professional.
The headliner should definitely deserve like the credit.
Yeah, of course. I mean, and then also like after you do it a while, and like especially like hosting or whatever position it is, like you still want to be a pro at something. And also it comes easy. But you're right; they don't care that you did this, you did that. I mean, maybe there's like one schmuck in the crowd that's like, oh, I mean, now it's different. I guess people will look up, I guess, that topic that you brought up, but. Right. Yeah.
So, what got you into comedy? So you're a stand-up comedian.
Oh man, long time, man. You know, like it's that's why I said before we started, where you're like, you used to do comedy. I'm like, no, I still do comedy. It's just with COVID, I just burnt 2 years.
Yeah.
And I just burnt over 2 years because there's really no comedy going. And I know there's comics that work through it. Like you look at people's calendars, you see people on social media, even yourself. Like you worked through it. I did not work through it because I'm not going to muster up the energy. I tried to do a couple shows in between COVID, and it was rough. Because there was a point in the middle there that I don't care how much you promote it, it's hard to get people out. So it was almost like I pushed pause for the first time in years. I mean, I'm 46. I grabbed a microphone when I was 27.
Oh my God.
And I'm still in the mud. Like I'm still in the mud, long time. But then again, part of that 20, all those years, or like 18 years, or almost 20 years, 2 of them was burnt. By COVID. Yeah. And then also maybe your first year or so, you're only hitting so many mics and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But no, I mean, I constantly write. I constantly, I wasn't constantly thinking about comedy for like maybe like a year during COVID, because again, when it first hit, I knew in my head, this is done.
Yeah.
Like this is done. Like we're done for a while. It's tap out time. But like a lot of comedians talk about, it was good to kind of tap out because as you know, with comedy, you're hustling. You do music, you're hustling. You're always on the grind. And it was almost, I've talked to a lot of road comics during COVID with my podcast. And it was a blessing in disguise because they got these guys are all getting in cars and on planes and stuff. Mm-hmm. And they're leaving their families for, years, 10, 15, 20 years. And it's kind of good to push pause for the first time because everybody's pushing pause. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm still a comic. And yeah, I'm starting to amp up like my brain again with comedy. I started hitting mics again just recently.
Oh, cool.
Which I'm not bragging about that. I'm almost done with, like, I know you can't be done with open mics, but mentally I'm almost done with open mics. I've done so many open mics that I know you need them. I know, like, there's comics that watch this go, you'll never be done with open mics, or it's like, dude, I've done so many. I already know what I am. I already know what I do with comedy. It's like, I got to focus on real shows now. I can't, like, and plus I'm getting older, dude. I've already burnt time. You know?
Yeah.
anyways, but
well, you look younger than 46.
I know, so but that's a nice thing to say, but it's a fact. You know, like I'm 46.
Yeah.
People at 46, they die. You know what I'm saying? Like, they die. People die. Like, if I died today, like tomorrow, and they go, man, he died. And they go, how old was he? They go, 46. They go, yeah, that sounds about right. People at 46 die, and you're not that sad. I'm not 26. 26, they go, oh my God, he's 26. He died.
True. That's true. I guess it is at that age where you're kind of like, yeah.
But comedy, a long time. I mean, dude, I've been writing down things since I was like 20. I've been writing down. I used to have a boss, Keith Byers, rest in peace. He was a guy in Ohio that was my boss. Yeah. And he was the first guy that ever told me, I was working with him, he goes, man, you're funny. He goes, you should think about doing comedy. And I had no goals of anything, like nothing. I mean, it's nothing. I'm drinking 40 ounces and like smoking weed and had, playing spades at night till like 3 a.m. in a trailer. I grew up in Ohio. And at that time I had a buddy I worked with. Yeah, look, I love it. It gets talked bad about.
I love a lot of people that were from Ohio. Some of my good friends are from Ohio.
But I had no driven goal at all. I've always been funny. I've always been, according to whoever you're talking to. I mean, there's people that hate me. They go, they're not funny. But I've always been a class clown. I was always funny. And then, but I never put it together. And he's the one that said, dude, you're funny. You should maybe think about doing comedy out of nowhere. And I'm like, really? And I go, how do you do that? And he goes, just start writing ideas down. So I was writing ideas down for probably 5, 6 years before I even grabbed a microphone.
Wow.
Low self-esteem, scared, stage fright.
Really? Because you come across
dude,
so confident.
It grew a long time into the man and the human I am now. If you'd have seen me when I was like, I could make fun of people. Like if I knew you were like an enemy of me, like to make fun of me, like like
that trash talk.
Like trash talk.
Yeah.
Oh, it's on.
Yeah.
Like, because I knew that it was like a dog, but like a dog against a dog. I knew that, but you know how it is.
Yeah.
Grabbing microphones in public speaking is one of the worst things ever. Mm-hmm. And I remember the first time I was in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio, at a comedy club that's still there. It's down the road because it burnt down. It was called Hilarities. There's a Hilarities in Cleveland, but there was a Hilarities in Cuyahoga Falls, and they used to do a Monday night amateur night. But their amateur night would have like 150 people watching, like a real crowd. They did it Monday through Saturday. It was a great club. It still is a great club.
Yeah.
And now it's called the Funny Stop. They changed names, but same owners. But I got up there on their amateur night with like 130 people in the audience, like a real crowd. Wow, it wasn't comedians either. This is back in the day when there was probably maybe 12 comedians that were on the show, maybe 11 comedians, and the rest was all audience.
Yeah.
And I was up there for like maybe 2.5, 3 minutes, going okay with your little dumb ideas, basic ideas. And then I said something to the crowd, like somebody at a table right there in the crowd, like kind of like crowd working, like saying a joke, saying, just bouncing off her and saying, like something like, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. And then I went back to the crowd, blank. And it was like, and I was like, 15 seconds, like, and I was like, thank you, I'm out of here. I went to the back, and like head in my lap, like, what the heck just happened, And then the headliner came up to me joking, and he goes, was it as bad as did it feel as bad up there as it looked? And then like messing with me. And I just looked at him like, whatever. I just ignored him. And then when I was driving home, like maybe half an hour later, I was thinking like, if that's the worst that it is, I was like, this is nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like once you get your mind and stuff like that. And the one thing that I learned about comedy, and again, there's other comedians that watch this. There's other people that watch this. You got your own theory on comedy. I got my theories on comedy because that's what you do. You start putting your own principles with it. The one thing that I learned with comedy, and it took a couple years, but then once I started getting my eyebrows down and starting working, you can't worry about looking cool up there. First of all, I don't worry. Like when I'm doing comedy, I don't worry about looking cool.
Yeah.
Because you're putting yourself out there. You're very vulnerable, you're putting yourself out there. And so you can't look cool. And I can't worry about like looking like a failure and like a loser up there. I don't care.
Yeah, you can't
have that. And then once you kind of have those, it's like it's on. And then once I kind of realized that took a couple years to realize that.
I think for a guy, that's probably more important because I've never been cool. I've never been the cool kid. I mean, I've been the goofy kid.
Yeah.
And I've been like, whatever, but I was never like the cool, popular, cheerleader kid. You know what I mean? So, yeah, but I think for a guy, that's probably a thought. But I mean, anything that you're focusing on you, where you're like, how am I coming across?
Well, because it's ego stuff. Because if you're trying to look cool up there and you're trying to and put this thing up there, you can't have that. People don't realize, like with comedy, and again, these are my theories, not yours.
Right.
But you, like comedians, even when you try like risky stuff, like even when you try risky stuff and a crowd judges you, it's like, who do you think you are? Most of these people in this audience that aren't laughing, yes, that might not be funny.
Yeah.
But sometimes you can say something that could be funny, but they don't take it as funny, but they're also judging you. It's like, look, I'm giving you like thoughts that are in my brain that most of you people hide. Most of you people, I'm showing you my scabs. I'm taking off the Band-Aid and going, look at that scab. Look at the redness of it.
Yeah.
Most of you guys hide your Band-Aids and put them behind your arm and you lie about it. And when you're with your good friend on the phone or in the room, then you guys talk about it. But you don't come on podcasts. That's another thing. When comedians get canceled and comedians, for whether it's on stage or whether it's what they say on a podcast, dude, most people don't come on here and then put their thoughts out into the world. And also, a lot of it's tongue in cheek. A lot of it's like, you're really just trying to get a laugh. I had this thought like a couple weeks ago that maybe people had this thought years ago, but most people on the internet, they get in trouble for things or they say stuff and they go, look at that idiot, or look what they said. I feel like most people on the internet, they're just trying to get people to look at them. That might even not be what they even really think.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're just trying to get people. So when people go, look at that racist, or look at that misogynist, look at that. All they're trying to do is say, look at me. And finally somebody looked at them in their head. So a lot of people, they go, I got them. They looked at me. I might be in a bad light to some people, and I only get a small percentage of people that like understand what I'm doing or dig my stuff, even if it's negative. Yeah. They're really just, so if they're just trying to get a look, it might not even be like legit. Right. There is some thought to that. Yeah. So when people go, we got you, you're the devil, it's like, dude, they're just trying to get, especially now with how much stuff's on the internet.
Oh yeah.
It's even harder to get attention. You know what I'm saying? So when you see people do extreme stuff, but I get it. There are some things that it's just a natural human being their natural awful self, and you go, there it is. That's a different thing.
Bad publicity is good publicity or whatever.
I guess so. Yeah, of course. It's just like like with like things like Rogan right now, how they were attacking him for like, they've been constantly attacking him and his people around him for like last couple of years. Yeah. But I heard somebody say that like how they were attacking him recently. Mm-hmm. That's the cheapest publicity he's had ever. That there's almost $300,000 worth of publicity that you just gave him. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, people are gonna be like, "What is he saying?"
It was like years ago when Eazy-E of NWA, he went to the White House for a dinner, wearing like all this like NWA clothes or whatever like that, just walking into a dinner. And I think he paid like I can't remember. I used to know the number. It might have been like a $25,000 plate of dinner to go to that fundraiser, but it was so much publicity that it was the best $25,000 that he ever spent. So
was it when Trump was in office or what?
No, I'm talking about when it was like Ronald Reagan. Eazy-E went to like a dinner with like Ronald Reagan or George Bush, and he paid like $25,000 for a plate. Yeah. But he just knew like him, like a gangster rapper that's like in hot water already. That's another thing. People think like censorship, like, because we're so now. I'm 46. I've seen stuff since I was like a little dude. And I had older people in my family that I always looked up to. I seen their generation of stuff. Dude, they were trying to censor rock groups. They were trying to censor 2 Live Crew rap groups. They went to the rappers. It always backfires. Like, I remember when they did it had to be explicit lyrics, that little logo that used to be on tapes and CDs.
I remember something.
It backfired on them because they said, you have to do this and put that on there. Nobody ever wanted the clean version. Yeah. Nobody, listen to any Eminem song, like album. You don't want the clean version. You hear it on the radio where you go, why is this? You hear a popular song that you listen to the regular album or something like that. Any of those NWA, nobody wanted the clean version. So then it makes people go out and get the dirty version.
Right, because you can hear the clean version on the radio. I mean, like... Yeah. Maroon 5 has a song like that where they cuss and then the radio it says something, but then you hear the CD, it says something else. I mean, it's like,
absolutely.
People are going to want to hear that. And it's almost like a branding of like, buy this one. This is what you want to buy.
That's what you really want. Yeah. But anyways.
Oh, yeah. The more you want to take away from people, the more they want to get that. It's like a child, don't touch the stove. Now they want to touch it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like anything.
Dude, I've said it on podcasts before, and whether it's popular or not, I just would rather. Dude, I remember when the internet is, and again, there people are gonna be like in the comments. I remember guy. I get it. You live a little bit longer than 27 years old and see what you start saying, loser. But
did you walk 3 miles on the snow to go to school?
No, but it's. But you know what? I forgot my train of thought. But
you were like, I remember. Yeah, what were you saying? Oh gosh.
No, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But
you were on a good roll, though. You were on a good roll.
Yeah, but yeah, with censorship, it's. Oh no, this is what I was thinking.
Away. Yeah,
so I remember when the internet used to be the cool thing. Like when the internet, and I know the internet's still cool. Like now, but now it's a different cool. But I remember the internet was like you could see anything on the internet. Remember, like it was like anything before. And I get it. You're not supposed to see everything on there. There are things that it's like, hey, dude, that should not be on the internet. But now they're turning the internet into like ABC, CBS, like it's not cool anymore. Yeah. It's just like I was saying with like Sirius XM radio. Like I remember when Sirius radio came around and they were like, they got satellite radio. It's going to be the best. It only costs this much, but you could say anything you want on there. Guess what? Sponsors got involved. And guess what? You can't say everything anymore. And then they start kicking people off it. And it's the same thing with this. I just believe, and again, this is my belief. I just let people let their freak flags fly and see who comes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And again, dude, I'm a white dude. I've been around white people. I've been around, look, Christina Ortega, my wife, she's at home right now. Like, I've been around freaking Mexicans, and I lived in New York for like 3 years. I've been around Puerto Ricans, Dominicans. I grew up with mostly white and black people in Ohio. And dude, as a white guy, I've probably only heard the N-word like dropped with me in the room, maybe a handful or two at times in all my years. And every time somebody would drop a word like that with me in the room, it was you're never like like it's like I gotta leave the room. Like I gotta leave the room. This is not a good guy, So I know those people will always be around, but just let people just like fly their freak flags and people will see the idiots. They will see the idiots. And then also, you will see the good, you'll see something good, you'll see something bad, and just let the internet be the internet. But they're not letting the internet be the internet anymore.
No, it's getting really vanilla, very vanilla.
Right.
And very
to where they're talking like we're gonna do Web3 or whatever, like a new internet. It's like you don't need to do a new internet. Just leave the internet alone. Yeah. Just leave it alone.
Yeah.
But I get it. And I know there are certain things that you don't need to have on the internet where it's, like child pornography or like awful, like devil stuff, like the devil. Like, I get it. There is the devil out there, but the devil's always going to be there. The devil's always, you're not going to get rid of the devil. The devil's always going to be.
Yeah, there's always going to be a way of doing things.
Yeah.
Obviously.
It's
just like the drug war, everything that they've tried to stop. It's just.
They don't stop it. They don't stop it.
It gets bigger for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think freedom of speech is like, I'm really pro freedom of speech.
Right.
And I like Rogan's episodes with the comics. I try to hear those.
Yeah.
And then some of the MMA fighters are really interesting because I've always, I am not a, physically fit person, but I have like an extreme admiration for athletes.
Yeah, me too.
MMA fighters. And I used to watch MMA.
Yeah.
And some of my friends are like, how can you watch it against
I still watch MMA.
I think it's great.
But Rogan brought me to MMA. Like he was one of the things that brought me to MMA. And then Ronda Rousey brought me and my wife and I to MMA.
Cool. Okay, so have you seen Miesha Tate fight?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so I didn't know anything about her, and then I watched Celebrity Big Brother, and she was on there, and she was amazing, and she won this past season. Yeah, she won this past season, and then I started looking her up, and she said some of the greatest stuff on that show, just inspirational stuff.
Like what?
Okay, so one thing was like she was talking about her mom, and they grew up really poor, single mom, had nothing. And but her mom was very big, also like your dad, live your dreams, do your thing, you know what I mean? And she says, you know what, honey, reach for the moon, and if you don't make it, you'll fall in the stars anyway. And I think that is amazing. I think that's an amazing quote for a little kid. And she's got 2 little daughters, and she's engaged, I guess, to an MMA fighter too. And Like, I just love, and she was actually training for an MMA fight while she was in the Celebrity Big Brother. So they're all like eating brownies and cakes, and she's over there, working out and stuff, and just as an inspiring person.
Go get her.
Man, I need to watch her fight. You know, like, I think she's amazing.
So that by seeing her on that makes you want to support her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
I want to watch her, and like I didn't really watch a lot of Ronda Rousey, but I did watch some MMA. I used to go to this boxing gym, and so there was MMA fighters, like up and coming MMA fighters. Yeah. One of them is in UFC now. So I just was going to those things, and then but it's something that I am intrigued about. I just feel like the mental control, and that was another thing. She won like almost every challenge, and it didn't even have to be physical.
You know why?
The mental.
It's mental.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this ain't breaking news either. But all the life is mental. Like a lot of life is mental. I mean, it's either you either stay focused or don't let it break you, because a lot of things are trying to break you. And I'm talking even from like a mother, father, all that stuff. It's trying to break you, man.
Yeah.
And also she's disciplined. There's discipline. And there's also, like there are things where she knows how she got to where she's at. So if you apply that to other things, that gets you through like the challenge. Or I never watched Big Brother and stuff like dude, I don't watch anything on ABC, CBS unless it's like sports maybe and stuff like that.
You know what? I don't watch the regular Big Brother. I have a friend that watches all the Big Brothers, but I only watch the Celebrity Big Brother. I just find it's interesting because it's all the celebrities coming.
I don't understand Big Brother. In a nutshell, they put all these people in like a house, and then what is it?
Well, they put them all in a house, and it's almost like a formulated game already set up. Okay, so they have competitions, and then if you win the competition, then you're the head of the household. Okay. So you get like a little crown or whatever, and you're the head of the household. So then you can put up 2 people up to get eliminated to leave. Okay. So the goal is to stay and be the last person at the end, obviously. And you make I think she got $100,000 out of it.
Really?
Yeah, I was so happy for her. I'm like, yes, So at any rate, you become a head of household. Well, then you put 2 people up for eviction. And of course, if
that's
you're
what they call it, eviction.
I know.
That's hilarious.
Like a house. Yeah. And so if you're smart about it, you're going to put up people that are strong players because you want to get rid of them.
You want to get your competitors out.
And sometimes it's like putting a strong person and just a pawn so that everybody votes for this one. Like they have to vote for this one.
Some kind of strategy.
Okay, well then they do another competition later. And that person who wins gets the power of veto.
Okay.
So that person can knock off one of the 2. They can leave it alone and leave those 2 people up there, or they could take one down.
Yeah.
Okay, whoever they like or they're friends with or whatever.
Sure.
If they take one down, then the head of household has to put another person up.
Okay.
So she doesn't really get the 2 people that she wanted, but whatever. Yeah. And then everybody votes somebody out, and then that person goes out.
Really?
So every week or however they do it, that keeps going.
Yeah, that show's been around forever.
Over again. Yeah.
Like 20 years.
Well, I told my friend, I promise, I'm like, I will watch the next Big Brother that's not celebrity. Because she loves it. And I just love the celebrity one because it's like, like they had the guy from, they had, what was that? Chris Kattan? Is it Kattan?
Yeah, Chris Kattan. I heard he was like,
Yeah, he was sleeping a lot, eating cake during the middle of the night. It was hilarious.
Dude, there's Chris Kattan stories that I think Jim Brewer was talking about on podcasts. How he would steal top ideas for like SNL. He'd ask I think Jim Brewer had a story where he's like where he comes over in the office like what are you like thinking about or whatever, and he would tell him like, oh, I got this idea about Joe Pesci coming in and doing whatever, and then in the next meeting where they're like pitching, Kattan like throws it out before him, and then he's like looking at him like, I'm pretty sure that's who it was. But that's how competitive and like backstabbing it is.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, if you hear a lot of those guys that were on SNL, they talk like that's not those weren't the good times. Like being at SNL. It's stressful, it's super competitive, super stressful. But I mean, it takes people to their next level sometimes.
Launches their careers for sure.
I don't know if, well, you can say not now with SNL, but there's people like right now with SNL that are crushing it. I mean, they're launching their career. I mean, look at Pete Davidson. He's freaking. He pulled him a Kardashian and pissed off. Do you think that's real? Do you think Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson are real? I think it's real, but I just sometimes I think like I don't know what to believe in this world. I know at first I didn't think it was real.
I mean, all his other ones like Ariana Grande and like Back and Sal and all that, I did think that those were real. At first I didn't really believe it because like he's never been a sexy symbol for me. Like I've never been like, ooh, you know. And then I'm like, wow, Ariana Grande, really? And then it was like, you know, Back and Sal. And now I see it more, like he's become a little bit more edgier than goofy. And like he's got the blonde hair, whatever. Yeah. But like the Kim Kardashian, I think it's real. I think it is real.
Really?
It's shocking. Yeah. Well, when she was on SNL and they had that one kiss, like it was like a Aladdin.
I didn't know that.
Okay.
I didn't even ever heard this information.
Oh, yeah. She was on SNL before she dated him, you know. So it was already brink of divorce, you know, and actually, they wrote a really good whoever wrote her monologue was really good. Really? Really good monologue for her. And so she was in a like a skit with like Aladdin, and he was like Aladdin or whatever, and she kissed him like on the carpet or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, they're like hanging out, and the kiss looked awkward in my opinion.
Yeah. Really?
But I mean, you are on TV, and it is SNL, and it was probably just like a stage kiss. They're not going to go at it, you know. But then then after that, it was like dating him, and now he's like driving her vehicles, and she's loaning him. Oh yeah, she's loaning him her vehicle. I watch TMZ every day, so I know.
I don't know. I believe it too. I don't know. I guess I believe it. I think that Kanye West is the wrong one to mess. Dude, I like Kanye West. Like I've always liked Kanye West. I have thought Kanye West is a little bit, whatever the words are for what his actions. But I mean, the guy is borderline a genius at what he does.
He is really good at what he does.
Dude, what he does. If you look at his catalog and his staying power, that's not a fluke. And it's not a fluke. And do I think she helped him out with like maybe some business stuff with like fat? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, but. Now with this whole thing and it's like all Twitter stuff and this and that, I'm like, dude, you messed up. Now you got like a crazy person that you're getting divorced with, and you're surprised that and they don't want anybody to ever mess up their brand. Like they don't want to mess up their brand, and also whether people know it or not or whether they want to admit it, they have to tiptoe around because they don't want to lose the black consumer. They don't. I'm being dead serious. If she takes this the wrong way. I really think that's what I really think that
like people watching her because
I think if she doesn't play her cards right, that because you're already seeing it with other celebrities and other rappers that are saying like Pete Davidson, like watch your mouth, like talking about Kanye like that. Yeah. Like you don't want to turn.
I don't really think he's talking about Kanye. I think Kanye's like
people think he's talking about Kanye.
Really?
Yeah, people think he's talking, and then I'm starting to see like other like people in that business that are basically telling Pete Davidson like, "Hey, watch your mouth, man." Like,
I'm afraid for Pete Davidson.
I know because when I start to see that, I start to think, well, I'm saying like other people, like I'm saying other people because. First of all, it doesn't even have to be anybody famous. It could be the crazy person that's at home that's a huge Kanye fan that just goes,
that snaps.
That's what I worry about in the world with everything. Yeah. That it's
thought of that.
Even with like any talk in the world right now, whether it's political or whether it's this, and how people are going back and forth, and it's like what it does is I worry about it baiting the crazy person that would do something where it's like, hey, what are you doing? And it's like, no. I will do something. It's like, dude, why'd you guys do that? You know? I mean, think about it.
Think about that.
Biggie Smalls is dead for a reason, whether you think it was this person or that, or Tupac's dead for a reason, whether you think it's that.
Well, people are kind of bringing in OJ, like the whole OJ thing. And they're like,
What about OJ?
Like, well, like the murder. So it's kind of like, is this going to be a repeat of the OJ?
Oh, because
like,
the Kardashian
is going to get so mad that
I don't think so.
He's going to murder anybody.
I don't think. I would hope not. I would, but you never know. I guess crazy people are crazy. Yeah, I would. I've always been the type of person where it's
obsessed, but yeah.
I've always been the type of person where it's like I'm not going to jail for nobody. Like nobody. I'm not. If it's like I'm married right now and I'm happily married, but if that goes wrong, I've been married almost 9 years in August, but I've been with her for 16 years. We were with each other. I wasn't going to get married. Like when I first met her, I was like, I'm not getting married. And then after a while, I realized like she's like a great woman. What am I thinking? Like this is stupid. Like it's stupid. Yeah. But but if I went home right now and my wife's in bed with somebody, it's just like you just go through the channels. It's like, but that's what I say. But then people's emotions get involved, and then that's where they go. That's where it's at. People don't realize that. Yeah, that people snap.
Yeah.
I knew a dude that snapped. I knew a guy. I went to school with the guy that snapped.
No
Swear to
way.
God. I've told the story before, but it's not. Yeah, he snapped and killed a couple people, then went to go kill a couple more people and stuff like that.
No.
Yeah. And if you would have met, it was one of my first life lessons that I learned. Like as a young adult, where I go, man, I was just with that guy like a week ago, like literally like a week ago, playing cards with him and just hanging out with him. I always played basketball. I grew up with the guy through high school and stuff, and regular guy. And it let me know that like a week later, like life can be a day later. Life, I mean, obviously moments later, life could be much different.
So was there a
so in a nutshell, he was. I grew up with this guy. Happy-go-lucky guy. He's like just like me. Like I'm pretty easygoing, happy-go-lucky and stuff. Trust me, I got like a jerk side of me, of course. You know, and, you know what I'm saying? Like if somebody's stepping on my toes, I'm not afraid to say like get back.
Yeah, you look like that guy.
You know, no. So if I feel like somebody's like, you know, like I was at the doctor's office the other day with my son and my wife. My son, he had something wrong with his pee-pee, right? He had like seriously wake up and it's a little red. And I called the doctor's office. I go, hey man, I need an appointment to get in there. They throw us in there for like 45 minutes in the waiting thing. I literally go out there. Why there's like a lobby full of people and the nurses, and I go, hey guys, we're in that room. I go, we've been in here for 45 minutes. You forget about us or what? Like let's get this going.
Yeah.
And they looked at me like I was the craziest person ever. That's exactly almost like how I said it. And then I go back in the room. And then like a nurse tries to come in there and go, we're busy. And I go, be better. Like, just be better. And I'm like that guy, you know, but I'm also like a nice guy where it's like, but don't make the appointment for a different time. But then that's like, so this guy, real happy-go-lucky guy. You would never know this. And he was dating a girl that was in a grade below us. I mean, we were like 20 by this time, but she was a grade below us. So I didn't really know her, but you'd see her around school all the years and stuff. And they broke up. They were living with each other. They broke up.
Okay.
She moved out, and within days, she had her mother and her new boyfriend's mother. Maybe it was a week or so, but her mother and her new boyfriend's mother went to his house to get the clothes and everything that was at her house. A week before that, he bought a 16-gauge shotgun, shot them both in the face. And then he went to their job, which they were young people. They were probably like 19, 20-year-old people that were working at a fast food place, and went there with the gun, shot at the manager, shot her boyfriend like half. I seen him like years later, shot half of this stuff off, like his ear and everything and stuff. And he went home, called a couple of my friends and said that he was closer to, and said, hey, I just did some awful stuff and you won't ever see me again. And then boom. And that was like the first thought. No, he got arrested. He's on like death row.
Boom.
No. He did not do that. But it made me think, like that was like an early life lesson where I go, wow, how, you know, like I said with the whole snap thing. I mean, you would never guess that dude would ever do that he had that animal in him. But we all, I believe we all have that animal in us. I mean, not saying that you're going to go do that, but I think we have that in us. That's like something. But most people know, like, hey, crazy person, get out of here. Devil, get away from me, devil.
Revenge is not always so sweet.
You know, it's where it's like, you know, but I did. That was something that I learned early on. It was an awful thing, man. Awful. And two mothers. Two mothers, man.
Oh my goodness.
And you would never guess it. Never guess that guy. If you had 30 guys in a room that I grew up with, you go, which one would do it? You would never say that guy. There was probably 5 others that you go, that guy right there, that guy. You know, it sucks. When we were growing up, like everybody has somebody that are growing, especially if you're growing up in like blue collar neighborhoods and going to like public schools. Yeah. Like I had a kid that I was like a good friend, and now he's like, it's so weird because now he's like a good father and like a business owner. But when he was like in like teenage years in his early 20s, he was the type of guy where you would go into a 7-Eleven, you go to the back to get like a soda, and he's at the front robbing the place type of thing. Wow. When you don't even know it. Yeah. Where you come to go and you go, and he's like, let's get out of here. And you go, what are you doing? Like, he's that type of guy. I grew up with like 8 of those guys. Like 8 of those guys. And some of them a couple of them are dead already. A couple of them, dude. You know, it's crazy. The older I get, it's like you see how many people went to jail that grew up in my neighborhood. That we were just riding BMX bikes, and then you don't keep up with them for 20 years. Then you finally bump into them, and they go, yeah, I did like 4 years, 5 years. And you go, drugs, a lot of drugs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. I had a kid. I grew up in a neighborhood. Like I remember hearing about this when we were 21, 22. His name was Muttley. His name was Richard, but he goes by Muttley since he was like 13. When he was like 21, I asked, somebody brought him up and I go, what's up with that guy? And he goes, yeah, he just got arrested. His thing was he was just waiting outside of bars and let drunk guys come out and you just knock them out and then like steal their wallets type stuff, you know? And dude, I grew up with like, blue collar neighborhood, nothing crazy, nothing like when you see stuff like in Chicago and stuff, and nothing like that. But it shows you, like, I feel like if you put any humans in a certain situation, whether it's good or bad, it's going to go, depending on what situation you're in, that's how it's going to go, man. For anybody. I don't believe it has nothing to do with skin color. It has all those kids, me, including myself. You put me on the west side of Chicago, where there's a lot of good people at, but there's a lot of things going on. Yeah. A lot of those same stuff.
Yeah, I think you're influenced. Definitely, you're influenced by your environment, people around you, what's happening.
A lot of luck. You got to have a lot of luck.
Examples of people around you. All of that is influential for sure. And it's like, that's some crazy stuff, man. Yeah. For sure.
You didn't grow up with people like that?
No, I grew up in church and very Baptist background. So the worst thing that, I was seeing, I think when I was...
I bet you had some devils coming in that church, though. They were devils at one time. Because done a lot of times where people are having it rough and then they come to Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the thing about church. It's open for everybody, which is great. But there are people that probably have an agenda or have... No, I'm saying, but I mean, like, at one time had the devil in them. And then that's why they were seeking out, like, religious and stuff. Yeah. Not to talk too much about religion because I don't know much about it. I mean, I know the basics and stuff. But the older I get, I never paid attention to religion ever. Like, I knew about it, but I was always like, no, thank you. And then, but the older I get, and that's why I always talk about the devil like more lately, is the one thing that makes me believe more in God is that I believe in the devil. Like, I believe the devil's real, in people. And if I think that, like, well, if the devil's real, then God has to be real. Like, it's that type of thing. Whether somebody like you or other religious people go, well, you got it all wrong here, dude. But I do. I believe the devil is real. I believe the devil's always in the high weeds, like waiting. It's always opportunity. It's always, it is that. It's, and dude, I remember my grandma years ago. I was like a little kid. I was probably 5. And I had a crazy grandma, like kind of batty grandma. I mean, she's a good woman, but like, she's kind of batty and like, all that stuff, Yeah. And I remember one time in the car, she goes, "You think the devil's real? Like a red devil?" She goes, "The devil's not like that." She goes, "The devil's in people." And I remember, and I didn't think about that for 25 years. And I remember her telling me that. Yeah. And as I realized it. Yeah. And, but anyways.
Yeah. I mean, we are all like, I feel like there's so many layers to us. And I do feel that you can, if you let your brain run and you can get, because there's always like I had guys that did me wrong or whatever. And I was like, man, it would be nice to like,
what?
For their tires to get slashed or something. But like, I'm not going to go do it.
That's a chick move. Key in cars. That's like key in cars.
But I
tires.
You know what I mean? But and so I'm not going to lie. There's like this process of like, man, how could it happen where nobody could find out it's me, right? Or whatever. Or I know they park here.
Oh, you got to go in different layers of like sinister stuff. That's your version of the devil, huh?
That's as far as I can go.
See, I don't put layers on the devil. I feel like just lashing out. That's the devil. That's you not putting a stop sign on something and the devil's riding along with you. But you're talking about going to layers of.
Yeah, so I just like little small things. But then I was like, okay, people are gonna like. There's cameras everywhere.
You can't do nothing now.
I'm not like a skinny. Like if you're a size. I don't know. If you're like size 7 and you're like 5'7", okay, and you're like in a hood, okay, it could be anybody. Yeah. But if I go, it's like people are gonna know it's me. It's like a process of elimination. Right? Yeah.
No, you got to wear like some kind of disguise that you couldn't tell. Almost like those disguises that are like a baseball game that they're down there running do something like that where they go, I don't know who's in that,
like a mascot.
Yeah, it's like a mascot, like a Chuck E. Cheese or something like that, where it's like I don't know who's in that Chuck E. Cheese costume that just did that horrible crime.
Oh my God, this reminds me.
That would be the move.
This reminds me of Baptist camp.
Really?
Okay, I was at Baptist camp and I was actually a counselor for like teenagers, Yeah. And so this girl brought a screen costume, with the whole mask.
Dude, I worked at a gas station part-time. I was on house arrest one time in Ohio,
house arrest.
Yeah, I was on house arrest for driving under suspended license. So I got a job at a Citgo gas station just so I didn't have to be home. I worked at UPS as like a supervisor. Yeah. And just so I didn't have to be at home, I picked up a gas station job so I didn't have to be at home and just like in hell. and somebody came in with a extreme mask and robbed the place with a knife.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but continue.
That's freaky. So,
You're scared.
So this girl that she actually was hired to come to babysit the pastor's kids, you know, like help out, whatever.
Sure.
So her and this other lady were, I guess, I don't know, they were teamed up in the same room and they were doing that. And I was a counselor. So she brought this, like, this costume, and she wanted somebody to put it on and go scare, because like it was like a dormitory. It was like we were in this dorm, and then it was like the cafeteria in the other dorm. So they would always practice, you know, we had to memorize Bible verses and do skits and stuff. So people were always practicing out in the hallway. So she's like, you know what? I want somebody to put this on. She was like the orchestrator. She's like, and we'll open the door and we'll like scare the crap.
Yeah, but that's like really scary stuff, because like every horror movie starts off with like that type of thing.
Right?
Where it
like
goes
a campsite.
awful. Yeah, especially campsite. I'm old. I grew up with like Friday the 13th and stuff. Like
all of that.
That ain't messing around stuff.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So it was hilarious because we were debating about who should put it on. Okay. And so the other lady was actually just there for the week. I think she was just like in the adult group, you know. And then I was there as a counselor. I'm like, dude, if I put it on, they're gonna know it's me, because like I went to an all Spanish, like everybody was Latin, okay, or Mexican, Puerto Rican.
Sure.
Okay, there's not a lot of tall Mexican people, right? And I was tall. I was already 5'9" at that point. I'm still 5'9".
Yeah.
But I was like, if I put it on, everybody's gonna know. So then we're like, it was like process of elimination. So we made the babysitter do it because we figured nobody would ever suspect the babysitter.
Sure. Yeah.
She's there. She's too busy to be doing this.
Sure.
So we put the outfit on her, and we all go over there and sneak it. So one of us held the door and threw her in.
God.
And everybody just like,
yeah.
I mean, just tear like screaming. So then we yanked her back. We shut the door, and then we started running, and she left her sandal, and I went to go pick it up, and we went back in. So then the whole week, the pastor's interrogating people that he thinks it is. You know, he thinks it's these guys, these teenagers. Yeah. So he's interrogating like all like the so-called bad kids, you know, one after one after one, and we're keeping the secret, you know. Yeah. So my team actually wins the week. You know, we won the most points, whatever. So we, you know, they take us out to eat, whatever.
Sure.
So I finally told them, like, oh, hey, by the way,
that was us.
You know,
what did he say?
He started laughing. Yeah. He thought it was so funny. Well, we were kind of like, I mean, I was the pastor's favorite, like one of the favorites.
Oh yeah, you're the pastor's favorite. No, I don't mean it like that either. I'm just saying.
I know when you said it, I was like, hey, let's get something straight.
No. Like you're like the
like I play the piano and all this other stuff. I serve a lot. So he was like, oh, you girls are so funny, ha ha ha. Yeah. And it was like a joke, and it was like fine, but but they hated us once they found out it was us. They hated us.
Really?
Yeah, because it was like they had nightmares and they wouldn't sleep. And,
you're scaring them.
Oh yeah, we scared the crap out of them. So my worst thought has been slashing tires.
Really?
But like I just never come to grips of doing it. Like there's just no way that I could see myself. I just know myself. I'm just not going to do it. You know,
crazy
like
people stuff
people,
though.
You gotta
but that and not to go back, but to circle back on what I'm saying, whether it's even political or anything on the internet, you got to watch out for the crazy person that says because they'll do that. Yeah. They don't have a stop sign in their head that goes, that's not right, dude. Yeah. That they're doing it for so-and-so, or they're doing it's, dude, that's the one bad thing about the internet too, is right? Everybody's available to put their 2 cents into it. Yeah, for sure. And that is the negative where there's crazy people out there. And I would assume there's probably a decent percentage of crazy people out there, or with crazy beliefs. You know, on all sides of thinking and stuff like that, they're always going to be there. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, sure. I always say this too, man. Like, whether people like it or not, you're never going to get rid of 100% of everything. I think that's one thing the world has a problem with that they don't ever realize. Like, you're never going to get rid of 100% of racist, 100% of all bad stuff, murderers. You're never going to get 100%. Like, you'll try to get that percentage down as small as possible. Right. But as long as we're humans. Yeah, you're never going to get rid of it. They're always going to be there. And the problem is then there's always going to be somebody there to go, there they are. There's that person. And then you go, duh, there is that person. And then you think that one little sliver is a larger percentage. It's like, no, not really. It just seems like larger because now the world's connected. Yeah. It's not like before where it was like your high school. You know, remember before social media, you're young, so I don't even know if you remember. You know, I mean, do you remember before social media?
Well, I don't talk about my age. So
No, I don't need to know your age, but do you remember when there was like
so I think Facebook started in 2000 and
like 1 or 2 or something like 2006
6 or 7, wasn't it?
Really?
I think I watched a podcast and they actually Googled it and they were looking.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe
6. So I guess it's been 16 years now.
Really?
So
I met my wife through. My wife and I connected through MySpace. She see me at a comedy show, and I used to run a Riddles open mic on Thursdays with Mike Vaughn. He's out in LA now and a photographer.
So funny because like Alan was just here and he did riddles.
Yeah.
So I guess
And it was a Thursday night. You're talking. This is like 05, 06. It was 06. It was 06. And she was in the front row with her friend, and we took a picture after the show. She's like, "Hey, can we take a picture with you?" And the comedians took a picture, and then she'll say it's wrong, but like maybe like 2-3 weeks later, she was like, "Hey, remember me on MySpace?" Like DM me, and I was like, "Oh yeah." And then so you're saying 2006 was Facebook?
Yeah, I want to say that I was watching a podcast and they Googled it and they said it was 2006.
That is crazy. See?
Yeah.
And then once they connected all of us. You've seen the crazy world of people in this and that.
I mean, everybody, I guess that means that everybody, well, as a child, you're not going to be on Facebook. But I guess everybody that's like, 20 and above or 22 and above, always had Facebook.
Always had like social media and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a cousin that's a guidance counselor at a high school in Cleveland. And she was telling me, we were just talking, and when I was visiting home, and she goes, these kids got it bad now, that with bullying. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like I had Ray Sibley like jumping on me, like every month. Ray Sibley and I are like jumping on it, like that type of stuff. And she goes, no. She goes, now if somebody jumps on you, they record it, and that never goes away.
Oh,
so then it makes me think if something bad happens to you, boom, they record it. So they clown you somehow, boom, they record it. And then even if you get it off there, somebody's always saving it. And might pop back up some other time. You can be 45 years old and the worst thing that ever happened to you in like 2016 pops back up. And you go, oh my God, my grandkids are going to see this.
Yeah, I think I really feel sorry for girls.
That's what she said. She actually, in that same conversation, she said to girls, because guess what? Whether I know I'm on a female podcast here, but you always hear about toxic masculinity, and somehow women always try to sidestep it, like women don't have the little devils in them, and they could be just as bad with in a different direction. You guys could be awful to each other, man. Awful.
Well, this is funny because I always thought when I was saying it, I meant like guys videotaping girls or drugging them.
Yeah, that of
doing
course.
All this crazy
that's
stuff.
That's the type of stuff that they do.
Or send me a picture and I'll send it to like 15 million other people. You know what I mean? Like that type of thing was what I was thinking with like teenagers. And it's so hard. I think like if I had a daughter, man, I'd have to sit down.
You got to tell them like, hey, don't do that, dude. Don't do it.
Because you have just the son, right?
No, I got 2 sons. I have a 26-year-old son.
Oh,
that's a grown man, and I have a 1.5-year-old son right now at home with my wife.
My God.
So I'm like an idiot. I got back in the baby line, which it's a blessing. I mean, I love my son being around, and it is the best. But you would have to tell your kids.
Yeah,
I know it's the thing. Like, maybe that's the thing that your friends do, but don't do it because,
You know what? We're supposed to talk 90 Day Fiance.
Let's do it.
So let's do it. Because there's
it makes me think of
Jasmina, right?
Yeah,
Jasmine and Gino. Okay.
Gino's a freaking weirdo.
Gino is different. Yeah.
Different. That guy is weird. Everything about him is weird. He laughs weird.
Yeah,
I don't understand the hat. Yeah. Like, I've seen pictures with his hat off because everybody's Googling like Gino with his hat off, and then you see younger pictures of him with hair and stuff.
Oh, really?
You didn't do that?
No, I haven't Googled.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know if you would instantly Google. Are you kidding me? No, you know what's crazy is like because for people that don't know that guy on 90 Day Fiance when his that girl, that woman's hot.
She is
like for him,
gorgeous.
she's smoking regardless.
She's smoking.
She's a smoke show. So she was sleeping naked. He took a picture and sent that to his ex-girlfriend to kind of make her jealous or whatever the weirdo thought is.
So dumb.
And then now the ex-girlfriend has it, and whether it's true or not, I'm really skeptical that that's even TV talk or producer talk, because she got an anonymous account sending her saying something else like, it's blackmail talk. That could be reality show.
Oh, that could be anybody, right?
That could be reality show like storyline stuff. Even the girlfriend thing, which I don't believe it is, but that could be reality show talk too, just to kind of get the thing moving.
Yeah.
But so he sends that picture of her naked to his ex-girlfriend to get her jealous or whatever the reasons are. And now the ex-girlfriend's saying, I'm going to put your stuff on the internet.
Yeah.
She's a teacher. in real life and a responsible woman. And she goes, I could lose my job for this, which I don't understand how a company could, because anybody could have that. Anybody can walk out of the shower and somebody takes a picture of you possibly that could be in your household and send it to the internet.
Aaron Andrews, was it?
Aaron Andrews. That was awful that they did that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that guy is
she was already mad at him when she found out he sent her the picture.
Yeah.
That was already
my wife, as soon as she said that she goes, my body's on the internet. I started looking for it instantly, like on the couch. Like I'm looking for it instantly. And my wife's looking at me with evil eyes. But I'm like, what's her last name? I'm Googling her last name and stuff.
She is
I didn't
gorgeous.
see anything.
I mean,
she's beautiful. She's a little crazy though too.
She is crazy.
She's got some crazy stuff in it too. And that's not like crazy Latina stuff. That's like she's crazy.
Yeah.
Just one foot in crazy.
Yeah, because she goes off on him about every little
snaps
thing.
too quick.
Yeah.
And another thing is, first of all, and I'm not going on looks, but like I see her, she's like a sports car. And he's like an old, Buick LeSabre.
I wouldn't date him.
You know what I'm saying? Dude.
I mean,
no,
he's too awkward.
There's something weird about him. So that's already a red flag where you go.
He can't even hug. Have you seen him hug?
I didn't notice that. I probably have noticed it, but I didn't. That was the one thing that jumps on my radar. I didn't notice it until I watched. He's so weird anyways. That's not even
he hugs and he goes like this. It's not like a natural hug. It's like a
something's up with him.
Hat. It's really different.
Yeah, his laugh is weird. First of all, he won't take off his hat. I got some things.
Even when they're having sex, no, he doesn't take the hat off.
Having sex with a hat on, huh?
Yeah, she kept telling him to take it off, and he would not.
Most people, that'd be a deal breaker.
That's
I don't.
Weird.
So even her hanging around. But then when I watch their relationship, you see her cry, but then also she might be crazy. But I told my wife, I feel like out of all of them, she cares about him. Maybe this might be real in a way, but she could be taking it to the next level and just maybe plugging in. I don't know.
If she's a good actress,
maybe.
I agree with you. At first I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Not that she was being a gold digger, because he doesn't look like he's got a lot of money. I mean, he gave her a toothbrush.
Yeah. Well, when they went to the store, he was going to try buying like $500 worth of clothes. Because first of all, the guy goes like to go visit his girl, and all he packs is like hoop shorts and like a shirt you sleep in. It's all like and one from like 99 type clothing. And I'm like, dude, like that's what you go with? Like come on, man. And then she tries to take him to the store. It was like $500-600 of like clothing, whatever. Like, whatever, dude. Yeah. Like your girl wants, like you look ridiculous. And then he didn't want to do that. So that does show maybe where his money's at, or he's a tightwad. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Something's up with that.
So at first I thought I was like, okay, maybe she's using him.
Yeah.
But then when he did that, she was so upset and crying so much. And I mean, she was upset, but like I felt like, wow, she's like, I really loved you. And I was like, whoa, she really does care about this.
There's something there. I think out of all of them, maybe I'm forgetting a couple or two, but I think out of all of them, that might be one. That might be one. But he's definitely. Something's up with him. I don't get it. And they do keep bringing up how like he used to pay for women or something like that. But lots of people pay for women. Whether like I get it, shaming him for that, but like that's like a common thing, I guess. Not for me, but not saying that that's not like a common thing in the world. And especially a guy like I don't know.
He's so awkward,
dude. It's not even his looks. Like that guy could be, if he was a normal guy. It's all day. I pass that guy at Walmart every day. That type of dude.
Yeah.
But it's how strange he is. That makes that something's up with it. Where you go, what is up with this guy? His laugh, his how he sits and stuff. Like when he's meeting the mom and stuff, and the faces and stuff. Like
insecure and very scared of everything.
Yeah,
like I'm scared the mom's not gonna like me. I'm scared. I don't want to take my hat off.
You don't want to take the hat off during a prayer and stuff. And it's just like, dude, I don't know what's going on. We thought he might have had like a bad head injury at first and like maybe had a bad scar or maybe something was exposed. I don't know. You start to think, why doesn't he want to take his hat off? But I guess there's nothing.
I mean, he's bald, but I mean, so
dude, it's no big deal.
That's the least of his worries.
But I know what he's saying, because like I remember when I was in my early 20s, I used to shave my head and then like grow like a goatee. It almost looked like I wasn't going for American History X, but that's what it looked like. Like that's why I don't do it. Like in those years I would do it because I thought it was like a black guy until I was like 23. You know what I'm saying? Like I swear to God, I'm joking, but not really. So I would shave my head and stuff, but it was just an awful look. I looked like a skinhead. It was going for the opposite look. I'm trying to like be like, no, I'm with you. And it's like, no, you look like you're not with us, But so I could see that. But dude, after a while, everybody's got something that they're insecure about at a certain age. And then you hit a certain age, you just go, that doesn't even rank anymore. That doesn't even rank. I don't care. I don't care.
Especially being around this girl. Like if I was a guy and I was around that kind of girl, I'd be like, I mean, I would be talking about like, be cool, man up.
Well,
I would be telling myself.
The one thing that these guys don't realize, I don't know, man. I mean, like the older I get, I mean, I just realized after like a certain age, like you have to play the role. Like people, I feel like everybody, like, or maybe it's just me. I feel like everybody's acting. Like they don't know that they're acting, but they are. Or some people don't know that they should be acting. Like for example, like I have nieces and nephews.
Mm-hmm.
I have to act like an uncle. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm their uncle.
Yeah.
So I have to act like an uncle.
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I want to act like uncle. I want to play the role. I'm a father.
Right.
I got to act like a father.
Yeah.
I'm a husband. I got to act like a husband.
Right.
Some of these people, they don't realize that. You know, it's like, dude, you're a comedian. You got to act like a comedian. You got to, everybody's acting like something whether they know it or not.
Yeah.
And you got to play a role. And when these dudes, like we go down the list, as we go down the list, it's the same thing with a lot of these guys. They're not, it's like, dude, especially like anybody could be on like these, you know, especially these people that are getting these lovers that are halfway around the world.
Yeah.
Anybody can be cool on the keyboard, but once you show up, dude, you got to start acting. Because they have this thing in your head that who you are. And I'm not saying be phony. The best thing to do is just act like how yourself is. Like act yourself, you know, and be yourself. But you got to kind of turn up the volume on things. You know, it's just like, you know, like comedy. You go on stage, you turn the volume up. Yeah. And then when you go on stage, you're still the same type of person, but you just turn the volume down.
Right. That makes sense.
And with him, he needs to turn up the volume. Just like, you know, I want to talk about like who's the dude that's down there in Mike? Is it Mike that's down there with the chick down in Peru?
Is it Mahogany, the girl?
No, not Peru. Yeah, Mahogany is in Peru. I'm talking about the chick that's in Colombia. The dude that looks like a little bug.
Oh yes.
Mike. I think it's Mike, right?
It is Mike.
Mike, and then his chick that's like this you know, that she has a kid with a Sicario, which is basically she has a kid with an assassin, you know, and she wants him to give him a free breast job. You know, she's totally using this guy.
She's totally using this guy.
But these guys they're such simps, man. Like they just show up, and it's like him. It's like, dude, you got to play a role. Like you show up.
Her name is Ximena or Jimena.
Yeah.
I should
straight up using him. Straight up using him.
Yeah.
He did the conference call with his the girlfriend friend of his, and she seen what was up. Any normal person, and I get it, he's normal, but
he's a nice guy.
The problem is he was a virgin. He's inexperienced. He was inexperienced in relationships. That is the one thing about relationships. You do learn from like the next one to the next one. Most people, and you read things and you see things. And so when you see it in real time, you kind of know the math. You see the math coming in. Mm-hmm. Since he's inexperienced, he doesn't see the math. He doesn't know that, like, this chick's straight up using you, buddy.
Yeah,
like,
badly.
And maybe she wasn't, maybe, but you show up and you're like this little, like, you know, whatever. And she ain't into you. Yeah. First of all, whatever the math is, she's not into you, and now she's trying to use you. And
he's given her a lot of money.
Absolutely.
Right?
She quit her job and she's got a couple kids, and now she wants a breast enhancement, and he's saying no. And everything with her body language is saying, like, I'm not into you, dude.
Yeah, big time.
But since he's so inexperienced and he just wants it to be that, it's like, dude, your red flags and indicators aren't going off. Your check engine light isn't going off, and it needs to go off. You need to grab your bag and go right to the airport and just be done.
Yeah, and his friend was really trying to help him. He's like, I would have been out of there. You got to leave.
But since he's so inexperienced, and he's just trying to get, he's trying to, get a little physical action off her, and he's trying to turn this thing into something. But I've always said it for years: when it works, it works. When it doesn't, it doesn't, and it ain't working.
I love I love his friend though. His friend was like, dude, if you were going to be taken advantage of, you could do that over here.
Absolutely.
You don't have to go miles and miles
But
away.
that shows you part of the formula is why they're grabbing these people from halfway across the world, because some of them either want to come to America or they want to get in America with money, I would assume, maybe, or something like that. Or also these guys in America, they could act like there's something when they're really not. They're building this like avatar character like on the internet that they're really not. And then when they show up,
I got money or I got
this. Anybody can sell. Like he figured out how to sell, or he put the hook in the water and he got a bite. Yeah. But she's straight up using him. And that's awful, man.
It is awful.
It's awful. It's, but everybody on this 90-day Fiance show, and I've watched it for the last couple of years. I've only been on to it maybe like 2.5 years. Okay. But like this season, like, first of all,
this season's really tough.
like Hamza, Like Hamza and whatever
Hamza
country.
in Memphis.
Yeah, in Memphis.
Hamza's actually a pretty attractive guy.
Dude, handsome guy. He's a smoke show.
Yeah.
And he seems like a good guy. His mother seems like a good woman and stuff like that. First of all, she's going to their house and the mother's saying sleep in separate beds and stuff like first nights, and then she's sneaking them in there and they're knocking boots. First of all, dude, you ain't respecting. There's no respect for the family.
Yeah.
I get it. Physical, that is very important. But like, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like her priorities are all messed up. Yeah. I feel like, dude,
she's been a little too pushy. Too,
I'm constantly yelling at the TV where it's like,
because I feel like
stop, Hamza, leave.
Yes.
Like I'm telling you, like leave, Hamza, like, no.
He's trying to be nice. He's trying to be romantic. And she's just like, are you gonna be a good person to me? Are you gonna?
And she's calling him a liar. And guess what? Just like a lot of times where people are always accusing you, they're the ones that are doing something else. I had a cheating girlfriend years ago that was always accusing me of cheating. Guess what? She was the biggest cheater I ever dated. Where it's like, I'm with Bob and I'm hanging out with Bobby. And then she was like, yeah, but you guys go here, go there, go there. I'm like, this imagination. I'm like, what are you talking about? Guess what? That's what they would do because they're a cheater. Yeah. So, and just how she's accusing him of being a liar and stuff. He lied about his age by like 1 year or something like that. Which
it wasn't that.
I don't understand a big deal about that. Yeah. And he seems like he's a good guy. Dude, when I'm yelling at it, I'm literally just saying, Hamza, get a good girl from your own country. And you're a good dude.
He's got tears in his eyes and he's
It ain't going to go well. It ain't gonna go well. If we could put money down on a bet, it ain't gonna go well.
Then I thought it was funny that this Sunday, so she has always kind of talked about the prenup.
Yeah.
But she didn't.
Oh, she calls the day before they get married to a lawyer. Can I get a prenup? Yeah. It doesn't work that way, dude. He has to hire a lawyer to look it over too. Like it's like.
And wasn't she upset at him because he supposedly did not plan when they took that car ride and they were going to go talk about the visa, whatever? And she's like, "You didn't plan this well, and you didn't think ahead." And I'm thinking, like, lady, you're not thinking ahead now. Yeah. With this prenup.
Yeah.
I just don't like people like that. She's
like her. I don't like anything about her. Like I don't like anything about like a. Because I think sometimes
like her aura is very negative.
Yeah. Oh,
very negative.
No kidding. Yeah. And I just think like this is gonna go bad. This is gonna go bad. Get away from her. You're a good, nice young guy, and you could do better. And I'm not just saying like look. I'm just saying as a human, as a human in general, it's like you could do better, and you're making a big mistake, buddy. Yeah. Unless people want to come to the States, right. If that's their move, if they want to do that, I guess they'll do it. One of the storylines on that show is the one where they're at a resort and it's Soldier Boy,
Usman and Kim, Soldier Boy and Kim.
Soldier Boy and Kim.
Oh man,
because he was already on the show with his ex-wife. That was like, it's like this doesn't make any damn sense. Yeah. But he's just trying to be on the show. I get what he's doing. He's playing the game.
Yeah, he is.
And
he wants to be a big.
She's sort of playing the game, but I think in her head she's trying to close the deal, and it's just like. Blew my mind on that one is that he didn't want to, at first when he didn't want to have sex with her, she brought up her son and like threatens him with her son. Like, my son's not going to be happy with this, that you're kind of leading me on and stuff. And he's like, are you basically bringing this up that he want to have sex with you? So you're going to tell your son about like, what is your angle on this?
Yeah, that was weird.
But that whole thing does not add up at all.
And then she bought him a laptop, an Xbox.
Oh, really?
The very first episode.
Oh, okay.
She comes in with a laptop and an Xbox. Yeah. And then she's like, "Can I stay?" And he's like, "No." And I'm like, "Oh." Yeah. And at first I was kind of like, well, he's kind of blaming it on his culture too, that they don't just do
I get
that.
It. Yeah, sure.
So, I mean, I could see a lot.
I get that. But listen, you can, with all these characters, I told my wife a couple episodes in or something like that. Like if you're already comfortable with these people and you kind of already know you guys are communicating, you guys already have a connection possibly. Yeah. I told my wife like as soon as these people see each other, I'm not even talking like sex or anything like that. Yeah. But if you ain't like climbing on each other's bones already and stuff, and like physical like touching and stuff, and just this body language, this like hummingbird, like whatever thing or whatever like that. If you're not even doing that, something's up. Yeah, something's up already. Something's already up, and then like that whole. You have to be a genius with Soldier Boy and that to see that and go. Yeah. He's on here because he's just trying to get FaceTime on TV.
She's a lot older than him.
It doesn't. It's not. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. It's just like the young lady down in Peru and the religious guy that you sent me.
So that's Mahogany and Ben.
So Mahogany.
Yeah, that's a rather weird.
What do you think's going on with Mahogany? Because I really can't get a read on her besides a few things.
Okay, first of all, okay, a little bit of red flags, but I'm finding excuses in my brain for these red flags. Okay. She apparently lied and said she was 24, but she's actually 22.
Which I don't understand.
That's not the biggest deal in the world.
Okay, but hold on here.
Like 40
Pause on that idea for a second, because my wife and I go, because what's the difference? My whole thing is what's the difference? And it's even with like Hamza saying he was like 26 and he's like 25 or something like that. I go, what's the difference? I go, the only thing that I could see is maybe if they were on a dating site and then there was some kind of like setting where it's like I'm looking for somebody from like 45 to 27 or 26. Maybe that's what that might have been. And why did that? That's the only rational thought.
There might be a language barrier where you don't think.
Maybe there's like a setting like on the site that's where they're looking for that person and that person lied. It's just like somebody saying, I got a buddy that he'll never hear this, so it doesn't matter. But he was on dating sites saying he was like 38 and he was like 45 or 44. And I'm like, dude, why are you lying? I swear, I was the guy that was like, just be you, throw it out there. You're a catch. Why are you lying? But that's the only reason I was thinking about what would matter if she's 22 or 24.
Yeah. I mean,
you're still an old dude.
You're that much older than her. I don't think that matters.
Which, you know what, dude? I remember one time I was 29. And then there was a 19-year-old that was like barking up my tree. Mm-hmm. And we only hung out maybe like a day or two, like just to see what's up with this.
Yeah.
We had no connection. That's just one example. But we had nothing. I was already like a grown man with a life experience already. And this is like a kid. And it's like, thanks, but no thanks. I can only imagine with this guy that are...
It's so creepy.
And it always happens with these shows anyways. They're batting out of their like some of these, like this is like that mahogany girl, which I guess that's her name.
Yeah.
Like she should be with like a young guy. And I get it. There's age thing. I get it. Look, if you hit it off, I get it. Like if it naturally hits it off, you go, man, what am I going to do? I get it. That does happen.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man.
I don't either. And then what's up with her like inviting him over to meet her parents, but it's not.
That wasn't her place. That was not her place, and he clearly knew that because there's no pictures or nothing like that. It almost looks like it was an Airbnb.
It was a nice,
right? Airbnb. Yeah. It's probably an Airbnb. Oh, but I guess in her theory, she could go, I don't know, man, this guy's crazy, and I don't want him to know where I live.
Yeah, and I thought the same thing with the cameras. Maybe the parents don't want. It could be just
like a defense strategy.
But then she needs to explain that.
Yeah.
Like, look, I rented out this Airbnb.
I don't know you. I know we know each other, but
my parents are kind of funny about the cameras.
But she went with the lie. She could have just flat out. I mean, if you want to talk about lies, I mean, you could have just said, "Hey, look, this isn't my place, but look. I'm still filling this out because I'm just trying to be a responsible human." Yeah. I mean, it could be those type of words.
Yeah.
So she did lie about the age, which what does that matter?
Right. I like the parents a lot.
Yeah.
The parents are probably the same.
Yeah, they seem. I was worried that at first I'm like, are these her real parents? But no, you could tell
I thought that
those
too.
are her real parents.
I was like, did she get actors?
Another thing is, it's just like Mike over there in freaking Colombia with the Sicario freaking girlfriend. Yeah. They don't speak the same language. Yeah. I get it. They go, the language of love and whatever. I get that too. Like if you guys hit it off and you're like, I don't care. We can't keep our hands off each other. Right. These two, he speaks bogus Spanish or whatever like that. And it looks almost like they look like coworkers. Yeah. They look like their energy is like coworkers.
Really chemistry
There's no chemistry there.
She's feeling it.
And she's not feeling it, which I get it. He shows up and that can happen also where it's like, no. It happens. Look, man, it's love. It's a weird thing.
Yeah.
It sometimes comes that way, but he's already got a bag packed and he's trying to get out of there anyways.
Yeah.
But another thing that's crazy is, and I get it, you got to take chances in life, but all these people that are on this show, their friends in their lives that they show, they're always like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah, their friends are very reasonable.
For the most part.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, what are you doing? They're being reasonable, but why in their heads do they think that this is like a good option? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't understand, but I get it.
They're defending it and defending it and defending it. Like, they're like,
yeah,
well, this and that. And I don't get it because from the outside looking in, it's like, it's a train wreck. And you're like, man, you're settling for something, or you're not, this cannot be real love. Like, you got to see that this is not real love. Like, this is not really working for you.
Yeah. Yeah. And the fact that they're going halfway around the world to try falling in love with somebody. It's and they're always trying to get somebody that's way younger than them, or probably like super attractive usually, and there's something to that where it's like, why don't you Dude, for example, I was in New York for like 3 years in early 2000s. And I started doing a long distance relationship with a woman that I already dated for years before that. We broke up, and then we were trying to put it back together. And I remember having the thought where I go, because anybody's done a long distance relationship, I had this thought where I go, what am I doing? Because it's so frustrating. Where in my head I'm thinking, I have women in my own town. Why am I going? Why am I putting it over there? Like, I get it where people go, that's love. It's like, no, life is short. Like, I'm in New York City. I got like 9 million or half of 9 million, whatever the women is. They're in New York. It's not like I have an option for all of them, but there's a large percentage. It's like, it's here. Why are you doing it here? And that's when I watch stuff like that. And I get it. I did it, but it was always frustrating. And my brain was always telling me no. And I still would do it for the most part. And then, but I just don't understand. But these people, they're doing that because obviously maybe they can't, in their mind, they can't get nobody here. Yeah. They have to act like a different person on the computer and try to put up this persona of like, this is what's going on to somebody that's in a different, that has 2 kids, that's in Colombia, that has, that type of thing where they go, ooh, yeah. But that is an interesting show, man.
There are some that work. Like I was thinking about Jovi and Yara. Yeah. Did you see that?
Of course I see Jovi and Yara. Yeah.
Yeah,
which, yeah, but you know what? Like Yara, although that is turning out okay. But see, another problem that you have that, and I'm looking at it from the guy's side. Yeah. And, but the problem is, like, Yara was threatening to have, when they had the baby, like, she was always kind of throwing it out there, like, I'm going to go back to my country. Oh, yeah. And that's the worst thing, dude. I mean, you never want to separate your child from the mother, but you also don't want to separate it from the father. And because guess what? Then that dude has to go, okay, you're over there and I'll see my kid once a year, twice a year, or whatever it is, or never, 5 years, or you got to move your life and go over there and get a game plan like now. That's messed up, man. But I get it. I get it from her side too, where she goes, I'm out of here. I got a kid now. Yeah. I'm going to go back to where I got a support system.
Mature,
Oh, going to strip clubs and stuff.
Well, I was like, come on, guys.
But you know what? That's like a common guy. Well, it's a common like human thing, but especially with guys also, and women too. But he wasn't getting the wild guy out of him yet. Yeah. You gotta almost kill the wild guy in you. Like you gotta curb it.
Too young. Yeah.
Like we both have a friend, Giovanni Diaz, that just had a baby. Like Giovanni just had a baby, right? Yeah. So Lobo Den podcast, Giovanni Diaz, comedian, very wild guy in his own way. I mean, he's very responsible, hustler, makes money,
and he's a nice
very responsible. But he has a wild side to him. Yeah, he's gonna have to start killing that wild side to him. Yeah, like you got a kid now, dude. You got to start killing off that wild side and leaving it behind and put it in the rearview mirror. Yeah. Or not. But don't be surprised if you keep that wildness in your life. Yeah. And I'm not even talking about him. Anybody. You keep the wild stuff in your life. Yeah. You're bringing wild cards into your life, and you never know how that's going to go. Yeah. And once you start building a family, and once you start,
it doesn't go together.
Once you want to have stable life, you can't have wild cards in your life. And I'm not talking about. I'm just talking in general, including myself. You gotta, so. But Yara and Jovi was a wild guy. Yeah. And I don't know if that's out of him yet. He has a good mom. I thought his mom was really good.
I loved his mom.
I was skeptical about Yara at first, but I think she's a good woman. I think she was down for him.
Loved him.
Well, because anytime you see and I get it, people that are watching, you think I'm ignorant. I'm just trying to call it like I see it. Yeah, you see these Eastern European girls, they're a little hot piece of ass, and they come over here, and you see them, and you go, it's just like the farm girl, the farm boy. Remember the farm boy, mama's boy? Yeah. And he brings over this go-go dancing little, she's cute. She's like fun.
She's crazy too.
And she's got a little wild, thing because he's younger and stuff like that. They come over here and you go, I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Because he seems like a simple guy. He is handsome, but he's very simple.
Well, because also, just like these people are acting like a certain way that who they are on the internet, some of these people that they're also grabbing, they can put their little wild baggage in their little backpack and they bring it over here and you don't even see it. They go, it's in the backpack. They go, don't worry about it. And then 2 years later, they unzip that backpack, boom, the wild comes out and you go, whoa, where'd that come from? And you go, I brought it from 2 years ago. Yeah. It's just like Mike, an old girl that used to be up there in Seattle, Washington area and stuff. And she's like, this is your house, Mike. You know what I'm talking about? The chick.
Oh, yes. She's from the Ukraine.
Ukraine. Oh, is she? this is your house.
Yeah.
She's like totally crapping on his house and stuff. And it's
she was
like,
crapping on everything.
what are you talking about? But
you eat too much meat.
Yeah.
You eat too much this and you're not in shape.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
And you know what? When I've seen them too, I thought maybe she could be down for him.
Yeah.
But she has like a stink attitude. But it's just like, but it's the same thing I tell my
now
wife.
she's not even with him. She's like,
she's on that single show now. Now she's in Florida and she's probably having a good old time. There's guys falling on her and
she's
trying
a beautiful girl. Yeah.
Yeah. But all these people that are on these shows and that they don't work out, I always tell my wife, I go, the good thing is it's showcasing them and there's somebody that's seeing them on TV that's sliding into their DM and saying, hey, whatever. It's just like the little racist Russian girl that was on there, that she was like a little pretty girl.
Caleb and Alina. Yeah.
She was a little pretty girl.
Yeah.
And that Caleb guy was not so much into her, in my opinion.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
He got bedroom romantic with her, but he just did that. He kind of said whatever.
And
I don't think he was into her.
I cannot tell if he's a nice guy or not.
He's probably not. He's probably like an average.
Like he's not.
Yeah, he's probably not.
Because when he was talking to the camera, he's like, I didn't realize all the stuff I had to do. Like, he has to pick her up. He's got the.
But I don't look at that like he's not a nice guy. I look at that like he's just being honest.
Yeah, maybe he's just being honest.
And there is a lot of baggage to it because it's just like everybody always, on all these shows, they think that it's going to be this way. Yeah. But in reality, when it's one-on-one and it's live action, it's going to be that way. It's not this thing that in your head that you think it's going to be. Yeah, she has problems with steps. She has everything, all that. Absolutely. Yeah. So he is being honest, but I'm saying he was definitely not into her. Because like I said, if you're into somebody, you're putting the paws on each other.
Oh, yeah.
He wasn't putting the paws on her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
She wanted him to, and he was kind of
right. She said, come on in, boy. You know what I'm saying? But he's not putting the paws. That's how you know what's up. Yeah. That if they're not putting the paws on each other almost instantly, and I'm not even saying go jump into the bedroom. Get to know each other.
But that there's affection and there's an interest.
Go through the steps. And they're not going through the steps. And that's not going to work out. And I guess she's a little racist. She had some Twitter comments that I think I read when TMZ when it was coming out.
Yeah, they're not even on the show anymore. I think she's not going to be on the finale either.
Really?
Yeah, they cut her out. Yeah. And Caleb defended her. He said, I don't think she's racist, whatever, but not good comment.
Yeah, she threw, it's dumb stuff. But she's done. She's done. And they can't even bring her out on another show. And because sometimes these people, just like Soldier Boy, they'll find somebody else.
Yeah, because she could have been on
Singles.
Like a Little People show or whatever, like the Little People spin-offs.
Yeah.
Or The Single Life. She could have been on that.
That's a new show that's coming up. And I see who's all on that and stuff. Some of those
Big Ed is back. He got a haircut.
Big Ed. I tell you, I don't understand that. I get it.
He dates really pretty girls too. I mean, the last one he dated was really cute.
Yeah, I know, but are they really? I mean, sometimes you date people that, I got a buddy in Chicago, and he dates pretty women, but it's like this isn't going nowhere. Sometimes people are just dating people just to run out the clock a little bit.
Okay.
They're not serious. They can give it's like a bus. They can give or take it. They're waiting at the stop for something better and stuff. Yeah. So stuff like that. I mean. Yeah. I've always been a guy that if I'm messing with somebody, which I'm married and whatever now, but if I ever mess with somebody, I had to be into them. I had buddies in my 20s that would jump from bed to bed to bed, and they would make fun of me because I was like, I don't do that because I can't fake it. I don't want to. You can't get me off the couch unless I'm into somebody. Yeah. I'm not gonna.
That makes more sense to me.
It's just my operating system. Yeah. But then a lot of people, that's not their operating system. They're just trying to close the deal and be that person.
Yeah. Interesting.
That's a good show. Anybody else on that list I'm forgetting? Because I feel like I'm forgetting another name on there.
I know. Well, that one was the last show. And then just people that, Angela, she's lost a lot of weight. But we are way
Who is
past
Angela?
Angela, that blonde lady, she's older. She had the gastric bypass surgery.
Oh, yeah. That was Soldier Boys. That was Soldier Boys, right?
No, she was in, she was with Michael. Remember Michael?
Oh, yeah.
She had the southern voice. Michael.
Another fake. Yeah.
Yeah, but Michael tended to like her, I guess.
But it's so hard to believe that any of these guys, I don't know.
Some of them are successful, like Alexei and his wife, and they have kids now. I think they have 2 kids.
Yeah.
And they have their own spin-off show. So some people...
Well, that is the good thing about them doing spin-offs and stuff like that, because they do run against some characters Like, you know, like before we get out of here, like even like the Mama's Boy Farm Boy, I could see him getting his own spinoff show.
Oh yeah,
because they got the farm, they got the Mama's Boy. So I mean, I know that's what they're looking for. Because they did spin off Darcy and whatever her name is.
Oh yeah, Darcy and Stacy. Yeah,
I can't stand those. I can't stand them. There's nothing likable to me about them at all.
This season I haven't watched it, but it's crazy.
They're always crying. They always got those like you know, those lips, and like they're always crying, and it's always like, and it's just like, who watches this?
Like they go get plastic surgery together because they're twins.
Yeah.
They get the same things done.
Yeah. You know, I would never get plastic surgery. And I know I'm aging and stuff, but I watched the show Botched with my wife.
Yeah,
and dude, you see when it goes bad, you better have the money to fix it. And even if you do have the money to fix it, sometimes your body goes no. And it's Yeah, I can't watch Botched. Dude, they had somebody a couple episodes where a smart doctor, she was a urologist or something like that, and she, for like her 40th or somewhere around there birthday, she wanted to get Botox, and she got Botox or some kind of filler, and dude, it drooped her eye like this, and it was like her eye was swolled up, like it was the most disgusting thing, and she came into even their show. And they had to fix her 2 or 3 times, and they still couldn't really do nothing about her because her body's just rejecting it. So when people always say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, you better hope it goes right, and you better hope your body doesn't reject it.
That's scary.
And those people are going on a reality show to get it fixed. Most people don't have that option.
Yeah.
But anyways,
that's scary with Botox, because I always thought Botox was safe, but I guess not.
No, it's not. It just depends on your body.
Anyway.
But dude, I'll let you guys get out. Sorry, I could talk for 3 hours.
We spent so much time on the first comedy stuff that we're like throwing this 90 Days Fiance, but I wanted to talk about it. I love reality TV, and it's hard to find people that love it and want to talk about it.
Well, like I said, I don't watch the CBS stuff. I don't watch any of that, but I do watch, like I said, Love Before Lockup. I tell you what, dude, Love Before Lockup, it's the show. There's a couple characters on there where you're like, there's a guy on there right now that he could get his own show. Like my wife even called it, and I go, yeah, you're right. He's ignorant enough, and he's funny enough, and he thinks he's cute enough, and he's just, you know, he's just, and he has all these characters around in his life that are like real characters, like his family and his kids and stuff, and you go, this dude's getting a show. You know, I
gotta watch it. I used to watch it a long time ago, like the first season I think I watched, but I haven't kept up with it. Thanks for coming on.
Of course, dude. I appreciate it.
So much funny. You were hilarious.
I hope I didn't say anything I did say. Look, the problem is, like, I try to watch what I say, but like I'm like a trashy guy. You know, like I'm a responsible guy. Like I like, you know, all the adult stuff I try, but like
I was your comedy trashy too?
Yeah, it's trashy, and I was raised by like trashy people. My family don't like that. That's not, you know, they don't like me saying that because they don't think they're trashy, but they're kind of they got a foot on trash. You know what I'm saying? And they don't realize it. They think that they're like, and it's like, no, you guys are so awful. And that's where I came from.
Yeah. So,
so that's part of my. That's right. It's part of my operating system. But then, like, I used to be embarrassed of it, you know, because for years I always wanted to be like, I didn't want to be that.
Yeah.
But then after a while, I just realized, no, this is you. Be you, and then that's it.
Yeah.
You know,
that's all you can.
And so yeah, if it comes out that way, if people are listening, that's just the way it is. You know, and I'd much rather be who I am than like be some like phony guy, and that's you know what I'm saying? Like it's just like, look, if you like me, that's who I am. If not, I'm Bustin' Balls podcast.
Yes,
that's right. You know, so if you like this is a lot what it is. It's a lot of me just complaining, like, you know, like a jerk and stuff like that. It's
always filmed in Cigars and
No, it's only been filmed at Cigars and Stripes in Berwyn, Illinois on Route 66, probably for like the last couple months.
Oh, okay.
But a lot of them were. I mean, probably 50% of them were recorded there. But once the pandemic hit, I never did solos until the pandemic hit, and then I couldn't get any comics to come on. You know, because when the pandemic hit, people are like hiding.
Yeah.
They're like, I can't. You know, they like, hey, you want to meet somewhere? We'll meet in public. I haven't had my booster yet. I haven't gone outside. It's just like, well, I'm doing it in a park. It's summertime. I'll put the device on a bench or something like that. No.
Yeah.
So then I had to start doing solos and then like ranting like a crazy person. And there was a lot of times where I go, I don't even want to do this anymore, but you got to continue to do it.
Yeah.
And you sound like a crazy person.
Keep it moving. Yeah.
Yeah, but.
Oh, you're hilarious. I've never thought you sound like crazy. You're so funny. Thanks so much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Eric.
Hey, if you ever want more conversation, we could do a 90-day thing every so often.
Let's do it.
Maybe we can do it. Maybe we'll do it after like every season, or we'll jump in or something like that, or maybe after a reunion.
Yeah, after the reunion.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
All right.
All right. Thanks.
All right, dude.